Hello folks, welcome to another video from Project Reboot. Now this is my gaming rig. I know what you're thinking. What a disaster. What's this hanging off the back, I think you're saying. Now it's a working PC and a gaming PC. It's a working PC because I do video editing. Yes Bernie, I do video editing. Right? Now there's a problem with this PC at the moment. Even though it's the hottest day of the year, in here it's about 25 degrees at the moment. At home, the reason I've got all this hanging off here is because, and I'll show you on the video, I drilled a hole in my outside brick wall, put an air brick through it, and I pump in cold air from outside into the case. I'm down the side of my house. Here's my water butts. So, and there's me runner beans. So up here, just show you that. Up there, there it is. There's an air brick, siliconed in. That is where the air comes in. And here is the inside. This has come through one brick, one cavity with granules, insulation granules in it, and one block, thermalite block. So that's coming in that way. These two things here are for venting back out of the case. I'll show you the circulation. So anyway, it goes in there and it comes out, comes through here, and there's this cable here, goes onto that yellow cable on the side of my case. So this fan spins and it pipes in. I'll show you when it's plumbed back in again. Here's where the PC sits, just about here. Venting going out there, that's the back vent, and this is where the power supply vents back out. It's inside a cabinet, as you can see. Closes up, keeps everything nice and quiet. And then in here, thus, gets better. Zoom in.
Jack's got an expression of bewilderment on his face.
Right, here we go. Right, so here we go. Let's have a look at this. All right, so the duct comes into here, onto the underside of the graphics card on a makeshift scoop. There, and that card is an RX 580, 8 gigs from MSI. I've had that in there for about a year or something like that. One of the things I have noticed with this card is that there's a utility in the Radeon Adrenaline, which is zero frozzer or something like that. It spins up the fans at full speed to get the temperatures down, and it does go down to 35. But the zero frozzer is not switching off, so I have to actually do a restart for the fans to go back to normal. Normally the fans aren't spinning at all, but it's sitting almost at 60 degrees, even doing nothing, and I just think something's not quite right with it. Alright, so we've got Frankenrig here, so i5 4570 in there, MSI card. Just going to offer that up in the slot, offering up. Looking a bit deeper into my gaming system, it's got a PM961, I think, 256 gig NVMe SSD. It's got a 500 gig gaming SSD for storing my games on, which is down there. And it's also got a hot swap drive bay in the front here, and this here has got all my video editing on it. That gets backed up onto something else. It's really handy having a hot swap bay in there. I'd recommend that. Is it running?
Yep.
Oh.
Let's open up the lid on it.
Yeah. So generally the fans don't spin. I'm interested to see whether my motherboard is ill reporting the temperatures on this before I take it apart.
Where are we? GPU core 27, which is basically half of what it's been sitting at. So let's just let that sit and see how that performs. But that suggests to me that my motherboard is way off. I've even looked at these temperatures in GPU-Z as well. So I don't know about that at all. Well, we started running Heaven. Just digressing slightly, as Jays was said. We set up a fan system here because it is a little bit toasty in the workshop. So we've got, what's this? A Noctua, a Corsair, and an unbranded. It's giving us a bit of airflow. So the fans are going as expected. I don't think we've got temps here, are we, Jack?
Doesn't grab it in.
No, we haven't got that yet. We'll be back shortly. So average FPS of 115, 116 and a score of 29.17. That's consistent with what I've been getting at home. Let's look at the temps then, Jack. Quickly out of here. There's a bit of a purple theme going on here.
It's hit 71 max and is currently set at 34, if you can see that.
Wow, let's do a restart. Now that's good. That's good. If it's gone back down to 32 already. Well, we've done a restart and we're back with normal colours now. I've installed GPU-Z and it's showing at 36 degrees C, which is consistent with Open Hardware Monitor, which is showing 36 degrees C. So the MSI card is back in my gaming video rig. This fan is strategically placed to blow scoop air up into the fans, pumped in from outside here, just going that way. Whoosh. We got a result. We got something on screen.
No
Yeah.
signal. It is DisplayPort, isn't it?
Right, I
We
know
haven't plugged
why.
in the power to the graphics card.
Oh, Jack, I'm such an idiot. Well, folks, that's my garden and part of it. So anyway, on a fresh restart, it's also saying 30 degrees. So I'm very confused. Now Jack suggests that by removing it and reseating it, it may have actually done something. Maybe it wasn't set in correctly or just not right. I don't know. Where's this video going? Oh guys, I've had a major incident. I pushed the fan. I've pushed the fan cowl. Accidentally pushed it into the blades on the graphics card. I think I smashed one of the blades off. Oh dear. Can you see it, folks? Can you see it? I've just killed it. I've just killed the fan. There's a fan blade broken off there. I'll get it out. Oh. Nige! Just when I was thinking everything was fine, I'm such an idiot. I'm such an idiot. Right, I've broken the fans on the card, and I've got to remove it now to see what the damage is. Oh, Nige! What have you done? What have you done? Oh. There, Jack. Look, I've torn a bloody fan off. Fan blade off, look. There it is. Nige! What have you gone and done? Now. Ooh! Come with me, Jack. Come with me. What do you reckon? On me?
Perfect spare part.
What do
Hey Bernie, what do you reckon? God, it might be a get out of jail
Oh,
free card.
What a bit of luck.
From the Phoenix, or was it? Yeah,
The Phoenix rises from the ashes, yeah.
Oh dear. That's the next job, I think. Yeah. Right. Oh, dear.
You are a lucky so-and-so.
No, not necessarily.
No? Why not?
Oh, I don't know.
It looks identical.
Well, contrary to what I wanted to do, Jack's now disassembling my RX 580 carefully to take the fan assembly off. Well, the heatsinks come off with it. I'm going to hold that. So we have separation. So the heatsink, we're going to re-gunk this as it's off now. None of this was intended until my absolute stupidity. Well, folks, I've retrieved the display cabinet. This is our MSI GTX 1060 3 gigs. This is Bernie's old card that died in combat in January 2019. It now has an afterlife, perhaps, or part of it does. So I'm going to remove my Project Reboot mugs that can be purchased directly from Scrapstore for £6. Let's get it out of the case, Nigel. Try and make something positive out of this nightmare.
Whether or not it's a good build.
Well, the Perspex front is off. The mugs are stuck to the Perspex, which is handy. Now, when I put this graphics card on here, I did put it on there for quick unassembly, just in case we needed it for something else. So it's just held on by a screw there, and a PCI Express slot that I've bodged onto that.
Nice you kept those
You fixed it, Jack?
Yep.
What have you done?
Brand new fans.
Ah, that looks alright, doesn't it? Sort of.
I think the orange clashes with the red a bit, don't you?
I think that's quite a nice combination. Yeah. Orange fans. No MSI. Orange fans on a red shroud. No. Anyway, right. Card is out. Here's the card. It's got. Well, it's partially wired in actually, so it's not quite there yet because the lights come on, the fans don't go round.
The heatsink needs to be removed because the cables run along there, but the heatsink has like a little clamp thing which holds them all in place.
Oh, so we have to separate
Yeah.
the heatsink as well.
Those little clamps there.
Oh. Okay. Full separation required, Jack. Gets worse. And Pete is looking onwards with amazement. He's mopping the brow on the surgery today. Swab. If you're enjoying watching this disaster today, give us a thumbs up. Check out our Facebook page. There it is right there. Please stick around. Give us a like. Subscribe. Now, if you're watching this video, it didn't turn out the way I originally planned and it's just got worse. Stick with it. Okay, so confirmation that MSI have retained exactly the same design for the AMD heatsink against the NVIDIA heatsink for the GTX 1060 and the RX 580. So that's good news. The fans are the same, I'm thinking, Jack, aren't they?
Yep. I'm covered in thermal paste.
So, I think we might have turned a corner. My absolute stupidity. Oh, Nigel. Happiness in the workshop. So here's the board designs. The bottom one is the GTX 1060 and the top one is my RX 580. There they are. Similar layout. Obviously not exact. Here are the fans from the GTX 1060. Need a bit of a dust. Here's the fans from my card, the RX 580, with a notable exception here. We learn as we go. Alright, it's the hottest day of the year today. Absolutely beautiful. So I'm just going to clean up this fan just to get all this build-up of dust on there. And then we may have turned a corner. I know that these were working fans when Bernie destroyed the card, doing some, I don't know Bernie, what were you doing? Some benchmarking or tweaking, or something went a bit wrong, didn't it? And the card just had that special smell of burning capacitors or something, and it just stopped working, so he made a display out of it. Jack is reassembling the GTX 1060 back into its display cabinet now. Hopefully Bernie will never know. He won't even notice it. Will you, Bernie? Oh, I'm so grateful for Jack to be here today, because he's been watching a load of Gamers Nexus videos about card strip downs. He actually knows what he's doing, which is a major bonus for me, because it saves me a lot of faffing around. Of course, there wouldn't be any faffing around. I'd not be an absolute stupid idiot and smashing my homegrown fan shroud into the fan blades. This is the culprit. This was sitting there, and when I touched it, it went up, and this smashed into the underside of the blades. This was my homegrown scoop. You know, I'm now a bit reluctant to reuse that in case I go and do the same thing again. What we thought we'd do is, so Bernie will never notice, we're going to super glue the fan blade back on. Now, should I have done that on my RX 580, super glued the fan blade back on? Would it have worked? Who knows? Was it worth the risk? Probably not. There it is. Bernie won't know. You ain't seen me, right, Jack?
No.
Right, my RX 580 is back together again with GTX 1060 fans on it. Looks perfect, doesn't it now? Right, Jack, I think it's testing time.
Yep.
Right then, folks, the moment of truth. Let's start this up, see if the fans spin. Right, here we go. Yes! The fans are running! Excellent! Well, we're back to the desktop. Very interesting news. Very interesting indeed. Look at the core temperature now. 25. So it's come down about 8 degrees just on that thermal pasting. It's quite possible we've had an intended disaster here. Something that went really bad has actually turned out better than what I originally expected. Absolutely amazed I am. I'm absolutely amazed. Going to run Heaven again. Find out the overall temperature that returns. Oh dear, oh dear. Isn't it weird? Well, Heaven is running. I think the card's running quieter now. I don't think the fan is spinning as fast. There's no massive smashing noise either. That's good. There we are, got up to 71. It's already back down to 40 and descending. I think that's alright. I've decided I'm not going to refit this. This was a good idea at the time when it was in my cabinet. Static, no movement. The slightest movement smashed that into the fans. I'm not going to risk doing that again, because we haven't got another Bernie card, have we? Shh, you ain't seen me, right? Now that was a funny sort of video, wasn't it? Something that I hadn't intended happened. These things do happen, but somehow we've recovered. I'm so grateful. I can get back to me gaming. Oh no, video rendering on my gaming rig, on my video rendering rig.
So thank you very much for watching. Thanks Jack for being brilliant today. Hope you've enjoyed this right old mess of a video. See you next time. Cheerio.